Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the press conference for our second race of the USF2000 championship we had here at the Honda Indy Toronto. It was a really solid race from the second half on. Obviously, the first half of the race, the first 12 laps, we were caution plagued, I think would be the best way to say it. The guys getting a little anxious. Even on restarts, we had some issues. But once the drivers settled in, we really got a taste of what we normally get from these USF2000 drivers, and that's really close racing. Some aggressive moves, just a lot of fun to watch these guys go at it. Right in the middle of the pack the entire time was our national class driver, Scott Reddick. Always does a great job to stay out of trouble. There's always trouble around, and Scott always seems to be able to stay out of it. Scott, discuss your race. Another win for you. Championship looking really good. How are you feeling after the race today?
Well, we're feeling very good picking up another win. We made some more improvements to the car. The car was very good early in the race, and then going into the second half, driving through the carnage, I think I cut down my tire a little bit, and going into that final restart, I had to work very hard to drive to turn some not very impressive laps, but it definitely wasn't an easy win today.
Was there a lot of carnage out there? Obviously, you get to see it coming through. Do you find yourself getting off the throttle a little bit on those restarts to try not to be involved in some of them? We had 3 consecutive restarts with incidents.
I mean, absolutely. You got to look in your mirrors and see how close your competition is to you. You can't just take it too easy, but you definitely got to be heads up. Try and aim ahead, look ahead, pay attention to what's going on, try and anticipate where there's going to be wrecks, and put yourself in a good position to avoid them.
You obviously made some setup changes probably for today, knowing the track was going to change with all the IndyCar rubbers from the race yesterday. How did you feel the car was? You guys don't get a chance to warm up at all, so you're like thrown right into the middle of the pond. How did you feel your car setup was when you got on track?
Well, we made some changes to the front end, and we added some rear grip, and the balance is very good today.
Congratulations, well done, another win.
Thank you.
Let's move over here to Florian Latour, the young French driver who runs for J Motorsports. A career weekend here in the USF2000 program for Florian. Took to the streets of Toronto incredibly well. A podium yesterday. Fell actually back, I think, to 4th or 5th today, but you fought back violently and aggressively. Tell me about what happened and what your mindset was when you were trying to work your way back forward.
It was very hard to come back because we have not a lot of laps in the race. We have a lot of yellow flag, so I'm pushing a lot of icon in the few laps of the race, and we have the car for comeback, and I think we have the car today for win, but I can't catch the guy behind me.
Do you feel that you're going to be a lot stronger for the rest of the season now? Do you feel like you and your team were able to come together to be able to have such a great weekend?
Yeah, it's very good weekend because we have since the beginning we have a great car for this weekend. I think we have a great car for Mitoyo now, and I hope it's not the last podium.
Congratulations, well done. Moving over to Scott Hargrove. Scott, obviously a tough day for you yesterday, ended up finishing in the 14th position. Today you're focused, of course, on a comeback the entire day. A lot of instances that were able to you got forward to second, then back to third. But near the end of the race, things really started to come together, and you put your head down, and with a couple more laps, I think we would have had an even more exciting finish.
Yeah, well, like you said, yesterday was a bit of a tough day, a little bit of a blow to, not the champ. Well, it was a little bit, hurt the championship lead a little bit. So I knew today I couldn't do that again, had to stay clean at the start and all the restarts. I think, I don't know how we all made it through there without making contact. We were so close to each other, my front wing to other people's wheels, and side by side through the streets. It was a lot of fun. So great job by the Toronto Grand Prix to make the track so raceable. And then being able to drive it in the analytic systems USF2000 race was an honor for me, being sponsored by them. So I can't thank them enough, and hopefully we put on a good show for them.
Let's talk a little bit about the restarts. There was a lot of different lines into turn number 1. Some guys were out wide. We were way down into the blend, way below the blend line. Like, obviously, it's an open racetrack down there. You guys used every part of the racetrack. What was your strategy behind where you were going to be? I know you got aggressive a couple of times, but what was the strategy coming into turn 1?
Yeah, like you said, there's the blend line there, and I got caught out by not crossing it yesterday and then getting past, so I made sure that I protected that on the restarts. And just watching the mirrors and watching what's going on in front of you, just if there was no one behind me, I would open up my line a little bit and try to get a run down the straight to see if I can make an overtake coming down into the last corner. So I got up to second there and then fell back on the last restart and then had to work my way back up. So great job to Danilo, though, for getting back by me. It was a really good race.
What were your thoughts going down into turn number 3 when Danilo was able to get by Neil? That really shook everything up because Peter Portante was able to go by as well. You found yourself at one point in third, and then back into fourth, and back up to third again. That was a wild corner.
Yeah, it was. And then when I got past Danilo and I was side by side with Neil coming out of the last corner, we almost made contact as teammates. So, and I think we almost crashed into turn 3 on the first lap as well. So for sure, it was a lot of close calls in the short many laps that we got to run.
Congratulations on a good run and a good comeback today.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's move down to the winner today. We get to call him a race winner now of the USF2000 Championship. For the first time, a fantastic run for you, Danilo Estrella. Aggressive all weekend long, trying to make moves. We talked about the restarts being so crazy, where you were going to be at the bottom, the top. When you made your pass at the end of the straightaway for the win, for the lead, Neil Albrico went to the very, very bottom. You went way wide and got a much better run. Was that the plan where you're not going to follow him? You were going to go wide and get a better run down into 3?
Yeah, it was very tough to do because they're racing very aggressive. Like Harvard said, we got to close calls. And I tried on the outside the lap before. That's how I lose my second spot. It didn't work out. So I figured out if I could brake a little bit later and kind of turn later too, so I could run on the tarmac, not on the concrete. I would have the run outside on the corner. So Neil just did what I was expecting to do. He went to the inside and I said, okay, so let's just brake later and get on the tarmac. And we were fortunate enough to overtake him. And I couldn't be more happy. The track is amazing, the event is amazing, and the car was really good. So it was very good.
Obviously a big win for the Bilardi team as well. You were able to bring them their first win of the year. Must have been happy when you were able to see, I know you saw Brian Bilardi and Chuck Lesick there. They were pretty thrilled to be able to talk to you after that. What were your thoughts about bringing Bilardi their first win of the year?
Yeah, I feel very happy. We have been trying very hard. It's my rookie season, and I got to thank Brian to be, helping me a lot in making me be able to be on the car. And for our rookie season, it was really good. And you just got to bring more wins. They won the last 2 years at Mid-Ohio. They got a good setup there, and we're gonna get another win there, I'm pretty sure.
All right, let's open up the questions. Does anybody in the audience like to ask a question? Start with Al.
Danilo, obviously, no one likes multiple restarts and so that, but did that help you because you got an opportunity to try different things over the different restarts?
Well, to be really honest, the first 2 restarts, they were kind of weird. People were playing a lot of game. And the last restart, when I restarted third, I gave like a half car gap, and I went early, and that helped me a lot. So I could move to the outside and brake deeper, and Harvard was nice enough. He played smart, and that helped me actually. Like the first 2 starts, I kind of saw how the game was and everything, so I just planned it for the last restart.
Scott, after yesterday's struggles, how big a relief is it to get back up on the podium again, especially in light of the championship?
Yeah, it's huge, and like I said earlier in the race, I didn't know whether we were going to make it through some of the corners running the way we were. So to actually finish the race and be here is a huge relief for me, and I couldn't be happier to, even though it's not a win, it's a great result for me as myself. Too bad my teammate's not up here with me, but it's still a great result for my points lead.
Al?
Scott, just a quick question. Racing for your teammate, you talked about it a couple instances. Does that ever play in your mind, okay, it's not a fellow, or it's your teammate that maybe I should give him a little extra room, or it's another driver, you really don't care?
Well, Neil's an interesting one because we're pretty much best friends off the track, and then when we get on the track, I have to try and race him like anyone else. But number one rule is no contact. Other than that, it's free game. So I won't give him any more space than I'd give anyone else as long as there's no contact.